Hey everybody, welcome to Don't Copy That Floppy. I'm your host Lex.
I'm your other host Dan. I'm very tired because I stayed up, or I didn't stay up. I woke up and watched that Pokemon Nintendo Direct this morning.
At the crack ass at 10 a.m.
Crack ass at 10 a.m. We are Don't Copy That Floppy. We're your weekly video game news podcast here on ChipIt Radio at chipit.net. We talk about video games live from 7 to 8 p.m. every Friday. Lex, where can they find us? Besides right here.
Well, besides right here. Obviously, chipit.net. But you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, at DCTF Podcast for that handle. Also YouTube and iTunes and Steam because, we're just progressive like that.
Yes. It's social media, technically. You can chat on it.
Mm-hmm.
What was the first social media but AIM?
I've already broken these headphones. I've already broken my borrowed headphones. Okay, they're fixed again.
Are they actually broken?
No, they're not broken. The little plastic covering.
Oh, this little plastic thing came off. Okay. The headphones still work?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. As far as I know, those headphones were expensive. So yeah, this morning, Nintendo, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today. We got crime. We got anti-crime. We got to talk about Zynga, our favorite free game makers.
Zynga?
Free, quote-unquote. Got other new stuff, like games that were in development that we didn't know about. Got plagiarism. Music plagiarism.
Oh my god, such blatant music plagiarism.
Heinous music plagiarism. Well, let's start from the start. From the crack ass at 10 a.m. this morning, at which point I woke up and watched, with my wife, the most disappointing Nintendo Direct of all time.
So now, I haven't seen this Direct, but I have seen the trailer.
You've seen the Direct.
Yeah, I've seen the Direct.
Because that was the Direct.
But didn't you love it? It was nostalgia. Didn't you love how they recapped 20 years?
Yeah, wow. Pokemon games have come out for 20 years, and people played them. Fascinating. What a great reason to make people wake up at 10 in the morning.
It's not that early.
Yes, it is. On a Friday when you don't have to work, 10 a.m. is early. To watch. So the first, half of it was just this, nostalgia retrospective. And the second half was just, hey guys, we're putting out Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow on the eShop, which you already knew. But did you also know that you can transfer your Pokemon from them to new games on the DS? No? Well, you can.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's cool. And then all they said beyond that was, guess what? The games Pokemon Sun and Moon are coming out.
Yeah, they said
even
that.
Even though they were leaked yesterday.
So that at the very end, they're like, oh yeah, they're coming out, bye.
Yeah, and then the guy's like, see ya. That was the whole thing. And we already knew about Pokemon Sun and Moon because it got leaked. And that leak was confirmed. So yeah, we're getting a new Pokemon game. Shockingly. Amazing. I never saw it coming.
I thought the series was over.
Yeah, they're doing terrible.
I can't believe that the new Pokemon game is there's two of them, and one of them is one thing, and the other one is the opposite of that thing.
I can't believe it either.
They've never done that before.
I don't know. My favorite thing that I seen that came out of this was photoshops of covers for each game, and Pokemon Sun had the Dayman from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and Pokemon Moon had Nightman.
Of course, well
that's what I want.
It just makes the most sense. Dayman and Nightman get photoshopped onto a lot of things, like Dayquil and NyQuil.
Yes.
I love those memes as well. Dayman and Nightman, they've done well for themselves.
Pretty strong. Yeah. Pretty strong. They've made a presence for themselves.
But yeah, so the trailer, which is about 2 minutes, which I think I posted to our Facebook earlier today. The whole thing is just, hey, you remember playing Pokemon? Look at all these versions of Pokemon.
Of course you remember playing Pokemon. A Pokemon game came out last year. Forget about it.
It just goes through all the generations. Look at all these people who love this game. Oh, it's so great. Oh, yeah. Oh, and we're announcing Sun and Moon. Goodbye.
This Direct sucked. I'm sorry, I forgot about the other important announcement. You can now play Pokemon in traditional or simplified Chinese.
Oh.
I mean, that's good.
If you're a communist.
It's not...
You see, that joke actually works here.
It's not like a thrilling, like, edge of your seat Nintendo Direct reveal, though.
Well, they also said, I remember them saying in the release trailer, like, Pokemon Sun and Moon, when it comes out, it's going to be in all these languages.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I kind of expected it to be.
Yeah. Like, I feel like I'm bagging too hard on this Direct, but I think it rubbed me the wrong way.
It could have, they had a chance to say something.
I was assuming they were going to talk about Pokemon Go.
Oh, that would have been nice. I thought I read something about that going into beta.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
But that might not have been true.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I saw it...
I don't think there's been any rumors about it.
I feel like I just saw it on Facebook, and I've learned better than to trust anything I see on Facebook.
But one of your friend's dads might work at Nintendo.
Oh,
and tell you that it went into beta.
Yeah.
And you can go find Mew under a truck. I swear.
That's where
if they somehow rig it up so on Pokemon Go there's a truck somewhere in the world with a Mew hiding under it, I will flip. That would be amazing. But I feel like the big companies are too out of touch with the jokes children made on playgrounds.
Yeah.
Actually, not jokes children made. The lies children told on playgrounds.
The lies.
They weren't jokes. They're jokes now. Back then it was just unabashed cruelty.
I can't believe that's where Mew was this whole time.
Under that truck. He was there. You just gotta use strength to push the truck.
I never even thought
to do it. Surf next to the SSA and use strength to push that truck.
Ah.
So speaking of Nintendo, they just released a game that sold a lot. Shocking, I know.
Whoa.
They released Fire Emblem Fates, which has had the biggest stateside debut of the whole series by like a long shot.
That's great. I mean, I've heard a lot of people talking about it, so I'm glad.
Biggest US launch in series history, hit retail with 2 versions, which sold a combined total of more than 300,000 copies. That was like in the first few days, the 3-day launch window on the weekend. Fire Emblem Awakening sold only a fifth of that during its first 3 days on sale, and 180,000 copies during its first month. So it almost doubled Awakening's first month in 3 days. Pretty good. Buyers picked the more beginner-friendly Birthright game over the more challenging Conquest game, because people in this world are filthy casuals.
Filthy casuals.
So yeah, that's great news, especially coming off of the fact that, I don't know if you knew this, but Fire Emblem Awakening was potentially the series' swan song. And if that game had not performed well, it was going to be the last Fire Emblem game. But it did great, and everybody loves it, so they made more.
Just like the story of Final Fantasy.
Exactly, yeah. And now this game has come out and done even better, so Fire Emblem's here to stay. Yes.
Excellent.
Good to know. I think more people picked Birthright because you go with the weeaboo Japanese people. You get to use katana nanas.
That's their technical term.
Katana means Japanese sword.
Well, yeah, what else would you If there's anything an extremely European police officer with long flowing hair that was sometimes real and sometimes not real has taught me.
Go watch Samurai Cop, everybody. Did Samurai Cop 2 come out?
I don't know if it came out yet. I just know they're making it.
It's probably horrible.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait.
And maybe not in the good way. Here's one of our more interesting stories this week. You want to take us into this one, Lex?
Oh, well, how many of you have heard of former Senator Leland Yee?
I had not heard of him until now.
He actually, so he was a big anti-game person, but he's one of the more modern ones.
Yeah.
So usually when we refer to anti-game people, we think of those who were around in the 90s or maybe the early 2000s.
Guy who hated Grand Theft Auto.
Was it the lawyer from Florida?
I can't even remember his name.
He's not important.
He got disbarred.
Yeah.
Because he was so obnoxious about it.
Such a jerk. So this guy is one of the more modern antagonists for video games, saying violent video games cause violence of children.
This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's only copied Grand Theft Auto 4. That game hasn't been relevant, forever. Assassin's Creed 2? What are you doing?
Hey, but he's got Red Dead Redemption too. That was a good game.
That is a really good
Right?
game.
You know,
But it's so violent. It's not actually all that violent.
you can kill that man cougar in it.
I completely every time I forget about Cougar Man, somebody reminds me.
I'm sorry, Cougar Man, not Man Cougar.
That's a very fine line you're treading there.
I was being racist a little bit. So Leland Yee, who has tried in the past, when he was a senator, to pass laws in California,
Yep.
Restricting access to video games, I believe, banning them. He was just sentenced to 5 years in prison, and also
Guess
a
what
hefty
for?
fine.
Gun running.
Gun run. Which is actually all the more impressive when you notice that he's 67 years old.
Yes.
Which he looks great for 67.
Yes,
So,
yes.
but I think that's because he's Asian, and
I was
Asian
just
people, yeah.
They look good for a while.
And then
Take
once
care
they
of
hit
themselves.
like their 80s, they just go downhill
They
real
go right
fast.
angle.
Yeah.
I saw it happen in Japan, like right before my eyes.
But yeah, he had been involved. There was a multi-year sting operation.
Yes.
He'd been involved in gun running.
He has spent his entire... James Lasser, his lawyer, said he has spent his entire life helping others, not game developers. Lasser wrote in the sentencing memo, also located below, indeed, incarceration at his age with his wife's great physical condition does not make sense. Oh, is his wife sick? And the sentence of home confinement would be equally efficient and less costly than incarceration. So he might be confined to his house instead of going to jail. That's interesting.
No, they argued for that, but I think that
Oh.
he's still going to jail for 5 years.
Oh,
Because
yes.
the maximum sentence was 20 years.
Well, what's going to happen to his wife? She wasn't a gun runner. That's not fair.
I'm sure that copious amounts of money that they still have will cover her.
Probably.
Because he had to pay a fine, but it wasn't that much.
And he did spend at least a part of his life helping people get guns illegally.
Yeah, no, he was helping people. He was helping people shoot other people.
Yeah, like a real hero.
That's what Batman would do.
Listen, kids. Stop with this virtual violence. Start committing real violence.
Exactly.
I don't want you living in a fantasy world. Just hurt real people. It's better for you.
But this is nuts. I love when this stuff happens.
Yes. It's always funny. Because of just the sheer hypocrisy of it. And it makes you wonder, what really gives them this... Do you think that the whole, I hate violent video games, get rid of violent video games. Do you think it's either, is it just a scapegoat? He's trying to draw attention to that to hopefully people will ignore other bad things, or bad things that he's doing? Or it's just, a front so people will like him in the public eye? He'll appeal to that demographic who thinks video games are for violent teenagers and nobody else? Or is he just, did he just have a terrible video game experience as a child? He was playing Narc at the local arcade, and he got beat up.
Oh, probably.
So the bigger kid could play Narc.
No, he's 67, so he definitely wasn't a child when that game came out.
So when he was in his 30s, he was at the local arcade playing Narc, and then a high schooler came and beat him up. So he could play Narc.
No, I think that part of it is because he's older and he's from a different generation.
He just thinks video games are bad.
Yeah, but also part of it, because we see this so often with people who object to things. You find out that somewhere in their personal life they're doing that thing.
Yes.
Well,
I mean, it comes down to the fact that everybody's a hypocrite.
this is true.
Everybody's a hypocrite. Depends on what you're a hypocrite about.
I actually love being a filthy casual. I play Candy Crush right now.
I too play filthy casual games from time to time. I dare not speak of it, though.
But no, I think that...
I also don't only play games on my PC.
There's...
Whoa. Oh my god. I say PC Master Race, but I don't even belong.
No, so I think that especially with politicians, there's this whole thing where the most aggressively they go after stuff, the more likely it is that somewhere in the personal life they're totally into that.
Yeah, because it's the easy smoke and mirrors of, well, he couldn't possibly be a gun runner. He hates violence.
That's it.
Or he says he does.
And also part of it might just be that he thinks that he would get votes if he does that, which I don't think was necessarily the case. Guns? No, if he crusades against video games.
I mean, the people he gets guns for will vote for him.
That's true.
Maybe.
Well, they probably can't vote.
That's a fair point.
But I can't believe. So this is so funny. There's a Polygon article on this, and they detail the entire court proceedings and everything. It's actually very, very well written and really long. It's from February 24th. And it's so funny because he was caught as part of a larger investigation into Raymond Shrimp Boy Chow,
the current Dragon Head, or leader of the San Francisco-based Chi Kung Tong organization.
Yeah.
Who is this video game villain
I know.
to be associated with?
That's so good. That's such a video game
This is like the guy, the huge, Chinese dude with a big robe and a huge spiky beard, like Heihachi from Tekken. And then he gets up and he just throws his robe off and he's got a giant tiger tattoo on his chest.
The thing is, though, his name is Shrimp Boy, so I have to assume that,
maybe he just likes
a small
shrimp.
man.
Maybe he just likes shrimp.
See, that seems racist
to me.
Maybe
he goes to town, or he goes to town on shrimp when he's at parties. Like, they got a shrimp bowl, and he eats all of them. They're like, oh, there's that Shrimp Boy again.
She loves
and then he shoots like a Hadouken at them.
I gotta find a picture of Raymond Shrimp Boy Chow.
It's gonna be disappointing.
It is, but I need to know. Oh, God,
that guy looks like a criminal. Whoa. Look at this criminal.
This is kind of like a Bond henchman.
Kinda, yeah.
So, okay, so for those listening at home, he wears tracksuits.
He smokes very large cigars, or he is very small.
Oh, he's very small. He's got a mustache, and he's bald.
Yes.
He actually looks less like a Chinese mobster, even though he is Chinese, and more like an Eastern European mobster.
Like your stereotypical, Russian mob guy or something,
Like, he could be in Grand Theft Auto 4. He looks like someone from Grand Theft Auto 4.
He looks like someone from Grand Theft Auto 4.
Which is the game that Leland D is holding when he's talking about how he hates video games.
You're completely right. Oh, no. What a mess. Let's move on. Here's someone else we love talking about. We love to talk about Zynga, the maker of everyone's favorite games. Farmville, Words with Friends, probably something else.
You mean that blatant ripoff of Scrabble that somehow they were not sued for?
Excuse you? Scrabble was played on a board.
Completely different. I feel like, wasn't there some sort of legal thing that came about and that was their defense?
Maybe.
I think that might have actually happened.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Oh, they have Texas Hold'em, too.
Zynga is selling off their San Francisco headquarters. They bought this building in 2012 for $228 million.
Dude, San Francisco is expensive as shit.
It's a big building. It's 670,000 square feet. They announced plans to sell it on their most recent quarterly earnings report and plan to explore opportunities to monetize their San Francisco building through a sale and long-term leaseback transaction. So they're turning their building into a free-to-play game.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
They're monetizing their building. These people are horrible. The Zynga building was once home to Sega. And last quarter, Zynga posted a $46.8 million loss on $185 million in earnings. They said their mobile audience was down 1% in 2015, citing a lack of new releases. But don't worry, they plan on releasing 10 new titles this year. Farmville 2, Farmville 3, Farmville 4, Farmville 5, Farmville 6. Words with Friendser. It's more than Words with Friends.
And Texas Hold'em, too.
Texas Hold'em, too. So, yeah. Zynga is still gigantic and not actually hurting that badly from the sounds of it.
They took that loss and they were like, oh, it's just 1%.
Yeah. F off.
No,
Oh
I think their days are numbered.
You think so?
Because their audience didn't decrease by a significant percentage, this is true.
Yeah.
But I think there is an overall trend in just the free-to-play games of yesteryear, people are finally getting bored of and they want new ones.
So they want the same ones with different graphics.
Yeah. But, so I think what we're going to see is either Zynga is going to come out with some new IPs.
Why don't they just make Flappy Bird?
They should just make that.
Just rip off Flappy Bird, everyone will buy it. Because Flappy Bird's the greatest game ever made.
It's so good.
Have you heard of Flappy Bird? Have you played it?
Oh, I played it.
Oh my god. Isn't it the best?
It's so great.
Isn't it the best game ever? Move over, Witcher 3.
I mean, I'm really quite partial to Kim Kardashian's Hollywood.
What do you do in that game?
You go clothes shopping, I think.
We
did a story on it. We talked about what you do in it, but I don't remember.
All I remember is that people spend way too much real world money on it.
I believe the whole point of the game is that you're trying to
link your bank account to Kim Kardashian and just transfer all your money.
You're trying to get, within the game, you're trying to get modeling gigs and basically become, like, a celebrity.
Like a Where Kardashian?
Yeah, you're trying to become a celebrity in the same way that the Kardashians become celebrities.
Like on
celebrities.
On the full moon, you just get really detached from normal people and your ass gets huge.
But your bank account expands. I don't know why there isn't a feature in that game for just make a sex tape, because that seems like it would be the cheat code to just win. But, I don't know.
Who knows? Kanye should make a mobile game. He'd make back all that money he doesn't have.
That's why he needs Mark Zuckerberg.
Talk to his wife. Yeah, and he's Mark Zuckerberg to invest. He's the Walt Disney of our generation.
He is.
Kanye should start making video games. Just in general.
I'm shocked he hasn't yet.
Yeah.
He will.
So, at DICE, the DICE Awards happened last week. This is a story from Polygon on 22nd about said DICE Awards, where Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain won the award for Best Adventure Game for some reason. And neither Konami nor Hideo Kojima accepted the award.
Oh.
Which is kind of weird.
Especially since we know that Kojima was there because he did a talk with Guillermo del Toro and Jeff Keighley.
Totally. It was less than half an hour earlier. He was there to accept a Hall of Fame award from friend and colleague Guillermo del Toro. Konami, apparently the executive producer of the DICE Awards, told Polygon that Konami was unable to send someone to the awards. He got a pachinko cart fell on him. He just got crushed by all those little silver balls he couldn't make it.
Possibly.
Yeah. And Kojima-san preferred not to accept it. Which is very interesting. An interesting way of saying it. And kind of makes me wonder what the real reason was.
Dan has two theories for the reason. One of them I think is probably totally correct, and the other one I think is Dan being super biased.
What, the one about it not being an adventure game?
Yeah, it didn't deserve that award.
So my stupid one is that I don't think that I would qualify that game as an adventure game, and my thought was that Kojima doesn't either, so he was like, I'm not accepting that. That's stupid. But that's dumb. Yeah. The real reason probably is that the whole experience of MGS5 and everything that has happened surrounding it, and everything that Kojima has gone through, dealing with the release of this game and everything, has left him so jaded to it, and just not wanting to have anything to do with it, that he just said, no, I don't even want to be attached to this game anymore. It screwed my whole career up. Forget it.
He's starting a new chapter in his life.
He is. He's got a beard, a mustache. He looks more rugged. He's going off on his own. But I think it's interesting to wonder about, because I don't think I've ever seen, like, a situation like this where a big AAA developer just was like, I don't want to accept this award. And they just had to have somebody else do it.
I mean, at this point, Konami is so detached from what is the right thing to do and what is the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
This is just what I expect from them.
Yeah.
You win a prestigious award, You could try to rebuild your company's tarnished image. Nah, forget that. Why bother?
Insult more people on Twitter.
Yeah.
Block everyone from getting their rewards. February 19th, a week ago, story on Polygon that director Roy Lee, co-founder of Vertigo Entertainment, believes that video games are going to be the post-comics goldmine for movies.
So this is not true.
I also disagree with this.
I mean, okay, so there's an argument to be made that the comic movie goldmine is not just something that suddenly... It's not like Hollywood was like, let's make a comic book movie. Oh my gosh, it did so well, it's a goldmine.
It was a slow burn to start.
Because, like, you had, in late 70s, early 80s, you had the Superman movies.
Yep.
And people loved them, but they weren't, like, making tons and tons of money, but they did well.
Yeah.
Then there was a bit of a drought for a while. Then you had the Burton Batman movies, and they did really well, but again, like, they weren't making money all over the place, although they did make significantly more than Superman movies.
Yeah.
And then those prompted a bunch of superhero movies in the 90s, which all sucked and nobody watched.
Don't forget Darkman.
Darkman. Darkman's hilarious, dude. Go watch Darkman.
So
it's
terrible.
really funny. It's funny bad.
Yeah.
Steel. Shaquille
Oh,
O'Neal.
yeah.
Steel. Also Spawn. Let's not forget Spawn.
Hey, I watched that movie recently. People rag on that movie's special effects. They should.
I think the costuming holds up pretty well.
Costuming holds up pretty okay. I think Spawn's cape actually looks pretty great in that movie. But all of the scenes that take place in hell are god-awful. It looks like a freaking PS1 game. It's the worst. But anyway, yeah, Spawn happened, though. Because he was big in the 90s, because he was so edgy.
He was so edgy. Did you see the size of his cape?
So edgy.
See how many guns he had?
Yeah, he had guns, too. That's the other... I had no idea that Spawn used guns until a friend of mine had me read some Spawn comics. And I was like, what the hell is this? Why is he just shooting people with regular guns?
That's what happens in Spawn.
It's so hardcore. He's a magic hell demon and he just shoots people.
It seems a little silly. But then it's not until, like, the mid-aughts that you have, like, Iron Man coming out.
Yeah,
and, like, the Dark Knight.
The Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies.
Oh, that's true. We did have Sam Raimi Spider-Man
movies. Which kind of got things going a little bit.
Yeah.
And X-Men.
That was around 2000.
Yeah.
So yeah, it has really been a slow burn for like...
Iron Man is what started it big time.
Yeah.
From that point on, Marvel really started to go with
it. Because it wasn't until, I would say, Iron Man that a company, Marvel, finally figured out, oh, there's a formula to this. We know how to keep making these movies.
Yeah.
And pull in money with them consistently.
Oh, and don't forget Ang Lee's the Hulk.
Oh yeah, Ang Lee's the Hulk. Let's all forget about Ang Lee's the Hulk. But it took like 30 years for them to get to that point.
Yeah.
Video game movies, they've existed. They've been horrible pretty consistently. I mean, let's see, Prince of Persia with Jake Gyllenhaal. We all remember that classic. What happened? No one remembers it because no one cared. And then you have stuff like, I don't know, the ones that people do remember and wish they didn't. Super Mario Brothers. Oh yeah, Doom with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, no demons though. It was a biological virus.
See, I never saw it, but I can't believe they put demons.
There's no demons. Why would they decide to change that?
That's like the core of the game.
That's what Doom is. Spaceman fights demons.
See, it's too bad too because Dwayne The Rock Johnson is really good casting for that movie.
Yeah. He wasn't the main character, though.
He wasn't the main character?
No, he's the bad guy.
What's going on?
Okay, so in the Doom movie, Carl Urban plays Space Marine Man.
Oh, Carl Urban's good casting.
He's fun. Yeah, I like him. Yeah, he was great as Dredd.
He was great as Dredd.
Because he's a perfect actor. He's got the best lower half of his face.
just stubbly enough.
To play Dredd perfectly. He's a good scowl. He's the main character. He goes with his team to base to fight bioweapons that are not demons, definitely not. And then his leader, commander guy, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, gets infected and becomes a man with a metal rod on his arm. And then they kung fu fight.
And the kung fu fight. Exactly like the video game.
And there's one really cool scene, which is done in first-person view. It is actually just like the video game.
Oh,
it is really
nice.
cool. The rest of the movie is terrible.
So if we've learned anything from the history of video game movies versus comic book movies, it's that they're not the same at all.
No, they suck.
And if you're going to make the argument that video game movies could be the next comic book movies, then you have to allot the amount of time that it took for comic book movies to actually become good. So in 30 years, video games could be the next comic book movies.
Well, and all this guy has to say about it is, as to why, is it's like how comic book movies rose to prominence. Video games are the next big deal. That's a really good argument. It's really strong.
You really reasoned that out with historical evidence.
He also says that now that Deadpool, which had an R rating, did so well, it will be easier to make R-rated video game movies.
But that was never the issue.
No, they already did that too. They made Doom. It was awful.
Yeah.
I can cite Doom as an R-rated video game movie that sucked.
I will at least give them credit for making it R-rated.
I believe they did.
Yeah.
Now I need to check.
I'm almost certain you're wrong about that. That's gotta be PG-13.
So this guy's working on a bunch of stuff, like the follow-up to the Lego movie. And he's also working on movie takes on Minecraft and Five Nights at Freddy's.
So Five Nights at Freddy's could translate to a movie. Minecraft,
yes.
I mean, they translated Minecraft to a Telltale's game, so obviously,
the movie would have to be animated.
Yeah. And there's gonna be that Angry Birds movie, so you know.
Oh, did you look up Doom?
But I can't find Wikipedia doesn't just list their rating conveniently on their little sidebar.
Oh my god.
Carl Urban, he's in there. That man. Oh, it is rated R.
It is rated R. 2005. There you go.
You were going
How
lower.
about
2005.
that?
It was adapted from Doom. Did you know?
Shocking.
So this guy is an idiot. Is basically what we're getting at here.
He has no idea what the hell he's talking about. I mean, granted, we don't really have much of an idea of what we're talking about either in the grand scheme of things, but I feel like we have brought up more arguments that counter his point than he's brought up that support it. Like, I'm working on some video game movies. That means video games are the next big thing. That seems to be what his argument is.
If they come out with one really, 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 really good video game movie, and it has a formula that the company knows how to emulate, and then they can do that for a couple more movies, maybe we'll be having a conversation.
Yeah. And I mean, he does say that, like, he thinks that this is going to take some time, but that's it. Like, I think it's going to take some time. Because he says, like, there are these Marvel and superhero movies in the 80s and 90s that sucked. Yeah, but that was a very long time ago at this point. Apparently, this guy also tracked down the developer of Undertale, Toby Fox, and asked him if he would be interested in optioning role-playing game Undertale, and Toby Fox said no.
Toby Fox got integrity.
Because he's smart, and he has integrity, and he knows that making a movie of Undertale would completely ruin it.
God, that would be awful.
That'd be horrible.
That'd be so bad. I can't even... Oh, God, I want to puke just thinking about that movie.
Undertale is a story that needs to be told as a video game. Because of the way the game mechanics work into the plot and everything. Like, it doesn't work in another way. You need to have that interactivity.
I can just imagine, like, that phone call of this guy calling Fox and just being
We'd like to make a movie of Undertale. No.
Just being Fox being like, wait, what do you want to do? I want to make a movie adaptation of your video game, Undertale. Have you played Undertale?
No, but people love it.
yeah, no, goodbye.
No, thank you. Okay. So, in conclusion, video games the next big thing in movies? Probably not.
No. I give it like a 10% chance.
Lex, have you ever been looking at upcoming video game releases and said to yourself, wow, some of these special editions are kind of expensive?
You know, I think I've said that every time I've seen a special edition.
Okay, perfect. But have you ever thought to yourself, I wish some of these strategy guides that came with these games had special editions of their very own?
But what are strategy guides?
It's a book that tells you how to win the video game.
I think back in the 90s when I bought a StarCraft battle chest that came with a strategy guide, I never opened it.
I'm sure it did. Well, what would you tell me if I told you that right now you can pre-order a special edition strategy guide for Dark Souls 3 for the low price of $130?
What? Dark Souls 3, I'm so excited about it, sign me up.
Get a book about it for $130.
But don't you understand? I'm so excited about Dark Souls 3, I'll buy anything that has to do with it.
Literally anything.
Anything.
So, I bought the guides for Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, and Bloodborne. Because they're big, they're hardcover, they're super nice, they're made by Future Press, and those guys make pretty good guides. Or at the very least, these guides are good. And I kind of got them because I just wanted them, because they're cool. And I did use them for a bit of stuff after I beat the games and things like that. I totally would have bought the strategy guide for Dark Souls 3, but two things are stopping me. Or, well, one thing is stopping me, really, because I don't have to buy this stupid special edition. So the only thing that's stopping me is that for some reason this is being made by Prima Games now, and Prima Games makes crappy strategy guides.
Can I point out something to you?
That StarCraft, is that StarCraft? Yeah!
Prima official strategy guide.
Oh my god! But Prima guides stink. I don't want them to make a guide for a game like this. You want a good guide for these games. But you can get this, if you want to get it, you can get this special edition strategy guide for $130. It's a hardcover 320-page guide. Comes with a 192-page journal. It's just like a blank journal.
Well, as you were talking about earlier, you can use the journal to detail your depressing failures in Dark Souls 3.
I guess, yeah.
All your horrible deaths.
Yeah. It comes with a bookmark that's shaped like a sword. And it comes with a resin Estus flask. And it comes in like a big box.
Is the bookmark shaped like a sword? Is it like actually made? Is it like actually die cast?
I have no idea.
Because if
it is. It's a metal bookmark.
Because that seems like it would be a really inconvenient bookmark because it would be like heavier than most of the books you put it in.
Yeah, that's a terrible idea. Aren't metal bookmarks like always a bad idea?
Yeah. It's like paper is just way better.
Yeah. That's stupid. And I guarantee this Estus flask is going to be like the cheapest piece of crap ever made.
Who cares about the...
It's going to be like $3 of plastic in a vaguely flask shape.
Oh my god.
I don't know why this costs $129.99. I can't wrap my head around that. The guides that I bought were like $35.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And they were hardcover.
They were the same as this. They were like 300 some odd page hardcover guides for like $35.
It's that bookmark.
Yeah, that bookmark. It's made out of like solid freaking gold. Apparently. You get a cheap ass resin flask, an empty book with a weird cover, and a metal sword and a cardboard box for $100. Enjoy. That's a ripoff. Bullshit.
I mean, this is the problem. We were talking last week a little bit about how Minecraft is going to do their own Loot Crate service.
Oh yeah, the $30 a month Minecraft crate.
And I think that if that sells well, and if this sells well, I think that the gaming culture has just got too far. It's too far gone. It just needs to be taken out back and shot.
It was like $150 special edition for the game of Dark Souls 3. If you get both of these, you're paying almost $300 for a freaking game and a strategy guide.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me that people would even consider paying that.
That's ridiculous. I got the Dark Souls 2 special edition with that statue, and that statue's not that good. I'm not going to buy this one.
Dark Souls 2 wasn't even that good.
Dark Souls 2 wasn't even that good. So yeah, like, fool me once. Shame on me. No, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Fool me twice, can't get fooled again.
Can't get fooled again. Let's talk about plagiarism.
Plagiarism. Let's also talk about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 while we talk about plagiarism.
We can talk about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
We can.
Amazing.
Did any of you play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 as
I did.
youngins? Because you did, I did. And one of the songs one of the 30-second sound bites that looped repeatedly.
I liked the Blink-182 song.
Yeah, those were good. There's a lot of fun pop punk and ska stuff, but there's also some new metal in there, including the song When Worlds Collide by Powerman 5000.
A band that I am not actually very familiar with.
They were a one-hit wonder band. No one heard about them other than When Worlds Collide.
Yeah.
So they're really not relevant anymore. They haven't been relevant since.
Industrial metal, kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they are in the news again recently because
a new patch came out for Final Fantasy XIV.
Now it includes a boss fight, which is what, a Sephiroth thing?
Sephiroth.
Oh, Sephiroth.
It has nothing to do with Sephiroth, even though the name
he
is
didn't look anything like Sephiroth, but Sephiroth looks different from Sephiroth depending on the form that he's in, so I don't know.
No, I don't think this has anything to do with Sephiroth.
Okay, so Sephiroth, the boss fight, the footage from it looks great.
It looks like a really cool
boss fight.
Yeah.
But there's a problem with it.
About, after the first phase of the fight, the boss comes back in its, second form, and a new song starts. The music changes. And the song that starts is When Worlds Collide by Powerman 5000.
It is almost identical, except the lyrics are a little different. And I think,
there's some other slight difference.
There's some very, very slight differences. But you can listen to the track side by side in a Polygon article. Also, I think there was, a GameSpot article or an IGN article that I found.
Yeah.
You can listen to the videos of the songs side by side, determine for yourself. They're the same. And I assume that Pyroman 5000 members are probably not playing Final Fantasy XIV. Maybe they are. Who knows?
Probably not.
But my assumption is one of their fans saw this and sent it to them. Yes. And they reacted, and they were very unhappy.
Yeah.
They went to social media, and they referred to it as a straight-up ripoff.
Yep.
Also, they are quoted as saying, "Got to say that the level of unimaginative theft that has been used in creating this music for Final Fantasy XIV is mind-blowing." And I mean, it is, really.
I can't really say that they're wrong. They say, this is When Worlds Collide. Using something as inspiration is one thing, but a straight-up ripoff is another. Did they really think no one would notice? Let me tell you right now, I guarantee you there's a ton of people who play Final Fantasy XIV and listen to new metal.
Oh, totally.
It's a huge overlap.
Also, I hate to say it, but, they might have thought no one would notice.
With it being this close? Absolutely. And FF14 has a lot of variation in its music. There's other tracks that could be considered, industrial rock kind of tracks for boss fights. And I don't know if there's ever been any plagiarism allegations on it before, but this one holds water, I think.
Oh, definitely.
It's ridiculous. You can just listen to When Worlds Collide and then listen to this boss fight music from Sephiroth in FF14, and it's practically 1-to-1. The song starts the same way, it goes in the chorus the same way. The lyrics are slightly different, but they're sung in exactly the same, tone of voice and, style.
All of the instruments have, the same effects on them and stuff.
It's ridiculous. They practically just lifted the song. And, the team for Final Fantasy XIV, was contacted about this.
Oh, yeah, what did they say?
A member of the team said, regarding the music for the second phase of Containment Bay S1T7, I have read through your comments concerning the BGM for the battle with Sephiroth and would like to personally explain how the track was conceived. As most Final Fantasy fans already know, blah 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 blah, we made this music to be like the old game that this character came from in FF6. Building upon the motif of Sephiroth as a representation of the World Tree, we further incorporated story-driven themes of death and warped obsession with life while utilizing a musical genre, industrial rock, which we believed would provide substantial emphasis to the message. Industrial rock is a popular genre that can be further divided into numerous subgenres. Countless songs from these genres have been released worldwide. Thank you so much, FF team, for this education on music. And I have been made aware of an allegation regarding similarities between an existing track and the track created for the second phase of Containment Bay S1T7. However, track composer Masayoshi Soken has also stated to me that he was unaware of the track in question while working on this Final Fantasy track. We hope you continue to enjoy Final Fantasy XIV battle content.
I like how... Okay,
so
there's
that
one...
entire response is, do you all know what music is? Here is an explanation of music. Music is released all over the world. We didn't steal this song. Please continue to enjoy Final Fantasy. What a terrible response. That's super canned, like, lawyers say don't say anything. Like, crap.
I really hope that Powerman 5000 sues them, because let's face it, Powerman 5000 have nothing else to do.
Yeah, and they should.
Yeah.
This is like blatant plagiarism. They definitely still own the rights to that song. And it's crazy. So, whatever. Polygon contacted Michael Cummings, who was the most prominent member of Powerman 5000.
Otherwise known as Spider-1.
And brother to Rob Zombie.
Oh, wait, is he really Rob Zombie's brother?
I guess. I don't know if they mean, like, they're brothers or, like, they're, like, brothers.
Could be either way. But no, that means he definitely has money.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that's that. One of the developer, Thomas Mailer of Moon Studios, of Ori and the Blind Forest fame, in this article from Destructoid, on the 23rd, has said that Nintendo, he's frustrated with Nintendo because they have been so secretive with the NX. And he thinks that the fact that they are not releasing any sort of information about the system, specifications, or anything, even to developers, in their attempts to keep this all under wraps until they do their big reveal of it, is only going to hurt them in the long run. Because it's going to, if they're doing something weird with it, like they did with the Wii U, it's going to leave indie devs and third-party developers high and dry, and not wanting to bother to learn how to make something on this system. Whereas if they already had dev kits, or at least specifications, they could already be planning on titles for it. I don't think he's totally wrong. And especially given the hard time that Nintendo's had with third-party support since the Wii.
Yeah,
I think this is pretty valid.
They don't... And Nintendo still doesn't really understand how to interact with third-party people, which... So I don't necessarily... This doesn't surprise me that Nintendo continues to not understand how to interact with them.
Yeah. Mailer says, what's needed to sell hardware is goddamn good software. With Nintendo not having any dev kits out there at this point, and probably not even wanting to sell it in 2016, I can already guarantee that they'll just not have any software support since nobody can just jumble games together in less than a year. I mean, you can, but it'll be garbage. So he was pretty candid talking about this. And I realized he's not wrong.
Shovelware.
And he does say that it's not just an issue with Nintendo, because, and I quote, all these companies treat their dev kits and unreleased consoles like they're the second coming, but for now the issue is with the NX. He notes that ideally you'd be getting hardware specs or dev kits or hardware specs at least, 2 years in advance as a best case scenario, but that's like, no company's going to do that.
Yeah.
Because every company's afraid of it all leaking and everything.
Also, I mean, I think part of Nintendo's thought process is they make so much first-party stuff, and they know their first-party stuff drives their sales. They're like, well, we're going to have our own games ready for launch, so what do we care?
Right. Well, I think that was their mentality with the Wii U. That didn't work out
well at all.
No. There's all of like 3 or 4 games that actually make good use of the gamepad.
Well, Nintendo's got its new CEO.
It's true.
Maybe he'll make a good decision. Maybe he won't.
Hope so. That. Meanwhile, PlayStation 4 is about to reach $100 million in sales.
Or is it? That's the question. So there's articles that have been flying around, specifically one from GameSpot from today, that's like, oh, did you guys hear? PS4 is going to reach 100 million in sales! It's not really true. It's actually super misleading.
Really?
Do
tell.
This article goes on to tell you that the PlayStation 4 has been projected to sell more than 100 million units worldwide before its life cycle ends.
That is the most misleading article title I've ever seen in my life.
I know, it's so misleading.
That's total crap.
So this is more of like a PSA for if you're seeing this article online, like, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that these projections aren't valid.
No.
They're mostly running off the same kind of sales figures that we have to look back at from the PS1, from the PS2,
Right.
from the Xbox 360, and people know that over those consoles' lifespans, they sold a lot of units.
Does this mean that they know what the PS4's lifespan is going to be already?
See, that's the other thing that's implied, which is interesting because we know that the PS2's lifespan was like 5 times longer than it should have been.
Oh yeah, totally.
So
The
maybe
game came out for the PS2 in like 2014.
Yeah, nuts. So that means that like, could the PS4's lifespan also be crazy long like that? Maybe.
I doubt
And
it.
in that case, because I don't think they're planning that. They're not planning for it to be that long.
Yeah.
But in that case, then it's probably going to be significantly over.
They
100
want the
million.
turnaround and sales boost of a new console.
Oh, totally.
Way before that. Like, the PS4 was ridiculous. Or PS2 was ridiculous, excuse me. So, I think at this point they're planning on just saying, like, nope, no more PS4 at some point. Just so people will have to buy a new console.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see. It's weird, though, because, like, how do you project that? Because, like, what if the system stays around for another 4 years? What if it stays around for another 8 years? You know, there's not really any way of knowing right now. Unless they really have it planned out. Unless we got, like, a Marvel movie situation of consoles here.
And I mean, I think that with like the Microsoft stuff, it's a little easier to predict. They're a little more consistent, but Sony has proven not to be as much, and Nintendo certainly isn't.
No. Not at all.
So I think that again, like, I take it with a pretty big grain of salt. That being said, if it does sell all of those, it will be among the ranks of only 6 consoles that will have broken that. Which, considering that the pool of consoles to choose from is kind of small, it's not actually that impressive.
It's somewhat impressive.
But the other
There's
consoles...
quite a few consoles we don't hear about, like the TurboGrafx 16,
Oh, yeah.
Wonder Swan.
The Jaguar.
Yeah.
But
and the Dreamcast.
And the Dreamcast. You never hear about the Dreamcast. But no, the other ones that have broken that have been things like the PlayStation 2, the Nintendo DS, the Wii, and the Game Boy. I don't know why handhelds are included in that. That's a little weird.
And they're called handheld consoles.
Sure.
What about the Vita?
Vita means life, Dan.
How much did it sell? 4? That's good, right?
Yeah, it's...
So I didn't know about this, and this was posted an hour ago. Today, on the 26th, another Call of Cthulhu game is being made.
Whoa.
I mean, you've heard of Call of Cthulhu Dark Corners of the Earth, right?
Oh, yeah.
Super glitchy, like, mystery, thriller, RPG, horror game. Really cool, but super glitchy.
Aren't there people who've, like, modded it to fix a lot of the
Kind of.
stuff?
It's kind of unfixable.
Oh, that's too bad.
People have fixed it enough that they can get rid of some of, like, the game-breaking glitches, but the game just has a lot of jank in it that you can't really fix. And some issues that are not going to get addressed without, like, tearing the whole game down. People have made it playable. Yeah, that's the better way of saying it. There's also an Xbox version of it, but then there's, like, a Steam version of it, and the Steam version is different from the regular PC version of it, so depends on the version you're playing, too.
Yeah.
Apparently this has been in development for some time, though. It's due to be released in 2017, and it's been, like, 2 years since it was announced. And like I said, I've never heard of this. There's some, like, art and screenshots around for it that look good. And this is the first we've heard of it forever. And a developer, Cyanide, who are the developers of Styx, Blood Bowl, and Arklash Legacy.
Okay, well, people have good things to say about Blood Bowl.
Not that They developed the band Styx.
That's impressive.
You can catch new Styx track from in the new Final Fantasy XIV boss fight coming next month.
Excellent.
I don't know what Arklash Legacy is. It looks like Diablo.
Okay.
Cool. This person writing this article on Destructoid, Mr. Joe Farlock, says that this company's games are kind of janky. What? That wouldn't be much different from the first one.
It'll live up to the legacy of...
so that's probably fine.
No, but we have 2 screenshots.
They look nice.
They look really nice.
Yeah, they look great. Got like an amnesia sort of vibe to it. I like it. Sure. Keep an eye on that. Alright. Here's our last, kind of big story.
Do you remember the Vive? The HTC Vive?
I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I didn't remember this thing.
I actually did.
Okay.
Because I remember when we were covering one of the expos, they had a big piece on this that was super interesting to me.
Okay.
But it's HTC is making a VR headset.
Yes.
And this is supposed to be the super high-end VR one among VR headsets.
Okay.
So they finally released their price point, and man, is it high.
$799 US.
Whoa.
Wow. That better be the VRest VR I've ever seen.
Well, one of the ways they try and justify it, and I don't know if they succeed or not, but it has a lot more features than we see in a lot of the other VR headsets.
Mm-hmm.
Because HTC make phones? They make phones.
Yeah, they say that buyers won't have to get other pieces later.
This is true. Because this comes with pretty much everything. It comes with 2 little wand controllers. It comes with these weird, funny little boxes that you set up around your room so that it can track your movement within the room.
Mm-hmm.
And then it comes with other features like Bluetooth connectivity, and it can integrate with your phone if you have an HTC phone, and you can make calls while you're using it, which is who cares, but...
Hey, hello? Yeah, hey man, yeah, I'm in VR right now. What's the purpose of that?
So that you don't have to de-immerse to make your phone call.
Yeah, because it'll be super immersive to be talking to your friend on the phone while you're, punching a zombie in the face.
But one of the things that I think is beneficial about this, as opposed to the Oculus, is with the Oculus, you've just got the headset, and then it's meant to be used with a controller, which is sort of seems to, and that's what most other VR stuff seems to be doing. And it seems to be kind of a half measure. It's okay, you're in this immersive world, but you're still using a game controller. You're not really moving around. You're on a couch. Whereas with the Vive, it's okay, you're in the game world. You're moving around in the game world. It's tracking the movements of your hands with the 2 controllers that it comes with. It's fully immersive. So I can see the rationale for that. Oh, and it's going to come with 2, free indie title things.
Fantastic contraption and the thrilling sounding Job Simulator.
Dude, Job Simulator looks really funny. Have you ever watched stuff
no,
from that?
I haven't.
It looks super fun.
Okay. It's like an office work game? Or it's a bunch of stuff?
From what I've seen, it's very reminiscent of, what's it called? Of stuff like Octodad and I Am Bread.
Okay.
Video overloads for you. Who knows?
We'll never get it. Oh, I'm going to see some jobs being simulated. Oh, you can pick up donuts. Wow.
Everything hovers. It's just a goofy...
It's like Surgeon Simulator.
It is, that's what it's like. It's like Surgeon Simulator.
It's Surgeon Simulator. Oh, that coffee creamer, get it in there.
That's true.
So, okay, that seems fun. But it also totally seems like the kind of game that, just comes bundled with something like this. There's not really much to it.
It's just a goofy fun time. No, don't photocopy that stapler, you fool!
He's gonna do it.
Oh my god.
Woo-woo! Oh, it actually made a copy of the stapler.
It's firing staples everywhere.
So that game looks like a thrill.
It actually does look like a lot of fun.
Some guys made a horror game for it in 3 weeks.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. I mean, it's not great yet, but it's neat. So maybe we'll see something like that coming out once it's close to its actual release too. Although, what did they say the actual release date was?
Oh my gosh, I just closed the article. Hold on. HTC Vive release date.
Early April.
Pre-orders start on February 29th.
Okay. And it ships early April?
Yes.
So they don't actually have a date for it yet either. Huh. Oh.
But April's not that far off, so I'm sure that we'll be hearing that exact date pretty soon.
So let's wrap up with video games that just came out / video games that are coming out in the next week.
Oh man, you know what just came out? Came out yesterday.
Super.
And people are loving it, especially Polygon gave it a very, very favorable review.
It's got like an overall 9 on Steam. Like people are really digging it.
Yeah,
I've heard it's a bit on the short side, but the gameplay is like super solid and interesting and unique, so people don't really care. Yeah, and it looks really cool. The visual style of it's awesome. I'm interested. It was supposed to be a VR game originally, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is it still going to have VR compatibility?
Only time will tell, because I don't want to look it up right now.
Yeah, I'd be kind of disappointed if it does not. Far Cry Primal came out this past week. So that's cool.
People enjoy it.
Yeah, it looks alright.
It's good. I watched
Conan play it with PewDiePie.
Nice.
There's a badger. He trained a badger.
Good.
The badger killed a lot of guys, actually.
Yeah, it seems like not only are there a large variety of animals, but your ways that you interact with them, there seem to be quite a few.
Yes.
There's a lot of depth to that, which is really good.
Assassin's Creed Identity for the iOS came out.
Yeah, no one cares.
For anyone who wanted to play Assassin's Creed in Italy again, but on their iPhone.
For all those people who really want to play Far Cry Primal, but they're part of the PC Master Race, it's coming out on Windows on the 1st.
Broforce on PS4.
Yeah.
On the 1st as well.
Broforce is moving on to
Heavy Rain for PS4.
What? I didn't know that was
now
getting ported.
People on PS4 can experience the bad writing.
The bad writing or the only tolerable writing?
That's a good question, actually. In the David Cage. I guess it's going to be a quadrilogy now. With Detroit coming out.
Oh, Detroit.
That game. Is it wrong that I'm like really excited for that game because I want to see how bad it is?
Oh, and I
want to see how much David Cage bundles it. Oh, I can't wait.
Tron Run /R, which is actually repetitive because doesn't /R mean run?
Yeah, but it's probably supposed to be called like Tron Runner, and this just links to the Tron franchise. So I don't know what it is.
Coming out for the Xbone, but no, I remember reading something about it that looked kind of interesting, and I don't remember now.
Look at this anime game. X-Blaze Code Embryo.
Time for another JRPG.
No Japanese game will ever have a better title than Under Night in Birth EXE Late.
That was a good one.
That's a really good one.
That is a good one. Blaze Blue for Windows.
Chrono Phantasma Extend. Oh, and that Black Desert Online MMO comes out on the 3rd.
With the character creator that's nuts.
That really amazing character creator. And apparently the game's supposed to be pretty good, too. It's got a parkour system.
Yeah! Oh, now I'm excited.
It's a Korean MMO.
Yeah.
That made a big splash because it's got super pretty graphics and a really amazing character creator.
Wow. Its graphics are really great.
Yeah, they're nice. I don't know how good the game is, but if it's as popular as it is in like Korea and Japan and Russia, where it's also been released apparently in 2015, then there's got to be something to it. I guess we'll see. It's got an active combat system, which requires precise manual aiming, dodging, and comboing.
No, that sounds too hard.
You gotta have a really good internet connection for this one, folks.
With those graphics and that combat system.
Oh, get your supercomputer. Get your $5,000 Steam machine with its 1 terabyte solid state drive.
They can handle it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's about the size of it for now. Thank you all for listening. We've been Don't Copy That Floppy. Where can people find us, Lex?
People can find us on Facebook. They can find us on YouTube. They can find us on Steam. They can find us on iTunes. They can also find us on Twitter. Our handle is @DCTF Podcast.
That is correct. So thank you again for listening, and until next time, remember,
don't copy that floppy.
Don't copy that floppy.